Welcome again in the IT Academy course, PHP Basics, Part 4. Today we will continue some fun with loops and arrays and do some operation over the arrays, because until now we have only add some elements inside the code to the array and using the for each instruction go through the elements of the array. Today I will show you the basic usage of the for loop, not for each but for, and to do it I will show you some examples and you need to understand how the loop for is actually working. As I said in the previous lesson, loop for is quite a bit more complex than for each, because for each is used for iterating over all the elements inside some kind of object collection. In our examples that we have done, it was an array, a simple array indexed from 0. The for loop is in almost all the languages, the programming languages, except the Lisp and function languages, but all the structure and objective languages, PHP, Java, C, C++, whatever scripting languages like SP, Bash, and others are using and have the instruction for built-in. It is the basic instruction to moving over the collections, over the elements, and to do some repeatedly continued to do instructions many times, one or more. Okay, let's see. The for instructions looks like this. First is the initial condition of the loop, and it could be something like this: variable name called I, K, L are the widely used short names for iterating variables. You can give very long name here, but it will be not clean to source code. So programmers are using the I name of the variable, local variable, to iterating. It is a shortcut for iterate or index, but it's widely adopted in the programming world that the variables using with for are called I and next alphabetics letters. Okay, so for I assigned to 0 at start, and under the semicolon there is an AND condition. So actually not AND condition but the continue condition. So until, here is the unspoken word until I lower than 10, for example, do what? Do I++, close the round bracket and open the syntax brackets. So again, what happened here? How to read some kind of loop like this? For starting variable as value 0 until variable I is lower than 10, do I++, which means do increasing I one by one in each iteration. Again, start variable I from 0, and until I variable will be equal or higher than 10, increase the I one by one. You can read it as a start condition, start instruction, starting value, which is almost in 99% the assign instruction. Then is the condition when array where the loop should be working next, and here is actually what we have to do in each iteration. Those command, this operator actually ++ is called the increment operator, and it is used to increase the value of the variable by 1. Okay, so here is a simple loop which is iterating over the variable I, called I. I will start from 0 and will be continually looping until it until those conditions which are I highlighting here will be true. And what we'll be doing in each iterating, it will increase those variable by 1. So if I use an echo instruction and display the value of I, and for let's see, visual effect, give a break over the each iteration as we done it here, and those block will be commented for some time, because now it's not necessary. We are not using the arrays now, we are using the simple for instruction. Save and see what do we have. All right, very nice. Our loop is iterating from I with value 0, and in each loop in increasing the value by 1, and the condition to continue is I lower than 10. So the 10, if the I is growing to 10, will not continue, so the loop will stop. So we have displayed 10 values, 10 times we have displayed the I variable and the break tag, one by one. What can we do here? We can use a simple increment operator, but we can also use some complex instruction. For example, I assigned to I plus 2. Save, and what will happen? Interesting. We got 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. Why? Why? Because in each iteration we are not giving one more, but we give 2 more, because the increase operator, which is here like this, is exactly the same like the instruction I assigned to I plus 1. This is the same. This is exactly the same, because you know, programmers don't like read a lot. They want short commands, short instructions. So the programmers from C, Java and other languages are using this operator, the increment operation, to simply increase the value of the variable of the numeric integer variable by 1. But you can also use the complex instruction if you want to increase the variable over the more than 1. So in this particular example, I will go through the loop. Loop is based on the I variable, and on each iteration I increase the value of loop by 2, and I do it continually until this condition is true, which means when the I value is lower than 10. If you like, we can do some more stuff. Okay, and we got the numbers from 0 to 98, because the 100 value is not fulfilling the condition. There is an operator called equals or lower than 100, and if you run it, sorry, it's not like this, it's like this. In this case, we got the 100 value. So let's back to the source code. The condition greater on or equal 100 causes that the 100 is also true. For 100 value is also true, so we have displayed numbers from 0 to 100 with the 100. If I change it to 1 again and run, I will give you the numbers from 0 to 100. You can also play with the starting initial value of the I variable and change it, for example, from 1 to 100 and increase in each loop by 1. Save. And what do we have? From 1 to 100. Okay, you are great programmers. You can write a program that displays values from 1 to 100, and if you ask someone to do this by hand, you will be very, very upset. But if you know the programming languages, you can simply do it in 1 second. You can also be more sophisticated and ask someone to write numbers from 1 to 10,000. No problem. We need to wait for a browser. As you can see, the scroll is quite little, but no matter how much the PHP is handling with the numbers from 1 to 10,000. Okay. It was really simple. If someone knows the Excel or other calcs, you can use it simply. But if you ask someone, write me numbers from 1 to 10,000, let's see, from 1 to 100 and their square value, it could be difficult, but we know the PHP, so it's very simple to us. Until then, we haven't do much things inside loops. We actually display some value. But now we will play with variables and the arithmetical operation. For example, let's see, in each loop we will be multiplying I over the I. So let's do the square, which will be I multiplied by I. There is also a built-in mathematical operation, square, but for clean code I use a simple multiply operator. So in each loop, in each iterative loop, I create the variable called sq and assign to it value which is the I multiplied by I in each iteration. And in the echo instruction I will display I and the sq. Let's see what will happen. A few words about the echo. If the echo you are printing with echo only one variable, you don't need to use the double quotes, but using double quotes you can do some kind of expressions, for example variable, space, variable, and some static text. Using double quotes, there are also another method how to combining echo with concatenating strings, but we will discuss it later. Now we will display the I value and the I multiplied by I, which means I squared. Save, go back and see what we have. Alright, we got 1, 1, 2, 4, 3, 8, 4, 16, etc. 10, 100. So we got the number and its square value. Pretty nice. Okay. So as you can see, the loops are very common. Loops can be used to iterating over the elements of array, or it can be used for iterating with conditions, with conditional iterating, with conditional repeating some instructions. We can also mix that things. I mean, you can access the array by giving its index. We have done it before here, but we were accessing only one particular value given by a static, by a constant value 1, but we can use it to display the value of arrays over the particular indexes using the variable I in this case. So now I will remove it and see what we have. I will do at index I hold value, and here we need to use a concatenation operator. So the double quotes ends, and okay, concatenation not now. We can multiply the echo instruction and display the value from my array I. Okay, before I show the result, some explanation. First of all, we have changed the numbering from, let's see, 0, because all arrays start from 0, to 10 with 10. And in each iteration I will increase the value by one by one, and then I will display the text at index, and here is the value of I hold value, here is the space, double quote ends, comments ends with semicolon, and give the command from getting value from my array under the value I. So not static value like here 1, but in each loop iteration there will be another value. First we get the 0, then we get 1, then we get 2, etc. So what do we have as the result? Save and check this out. Okay, at index 0 I hold value 1, at index 1 I hold value 2, at index 2 I hold value 3, at index 3 ith whole value last, and then he goes, because the loop is declared as from 1 to 10, so he get the first all actually elements from the my array and then display empty value. As I said before, if you go over the boundaries of the array, the PHP will not give you an error and will continue to display or returning empty values. So we have just done the another way to iterate over the array. Instead of for each command we use a for, but it's not quite good because we are using the value 10 and it's not nice. Why it's bad? Because we don't know how many elements are here. Of course it could be 10, it could be more, or it could be less. We need to exactly go the same times, we need to go exactly the same numbers of iteration which the array actually holds. So we use the size of built-in function and use it here. It could be of course used in this condition. So size of my array, and here we start from 0, so the condition should not be equals lower or equal, but only lower size of, and see what will happen. At index 0 I hold value 1, at index 1 I hold value 2, at index 2 I hold value 3, and at index 3 I hold value last. So we have done iterating over the array with the index number. How it's compared to for each. In for each loop we haven't the index built in. Actually we need to use additional variable. For loop could be used to iterating over the array in this pattern. I mean, start from 0, going when I is lower than size of, and increase by 1 in each iteration. Why not here lower on equal? Why? Because we're starting from 0, so the last one element is size minus 1. If I give here lower or equal, I will get the last value which is actually outside the boundaries of array. So remember, if you are iterating using for loops, you're starting from 0 and stopping when the size is lower, when the I value is lower than size of. So we can get nice displaying the values. For each, as I mentioned, is used to iterate over all the elements from array, but for is more complex. As you can see, this is quite simple, this is more complex, but using the expressions we could do many fantastic things. For example, if you want to get only the even values from array, I mean 0, 2, 4, etc. You can change the expression that increases the local variable I, and you will get the value 0, value at index 2, which means 1 and 3. If you want to get the other elements, for example only first 2, you can change it to get every element, but not the size of, but let's see size of divided by 2, which causes that you will stop at the value 4 divided by 2, which is 2, so you get only a half of array, and so on. You can mix it size of also from a starting point, so you can for example start from size of divided by 2 and stop with size of, which means that you will get the another half of the array. I mean the second part, the last 2 elements, the half of the array, because we have changed the initial index. Let's change our code back to the whole array iteration, and we got all the elements. Okay, I think it's quite enough today. We have discussed the for loop, the complex version, with another initial values and condition to stop, and another variance of increasing the iteration variable, and how to display some complex information inside loops. See you next lesson, and try to do some stuff at home. If you have any questions, any problems, we want some help with particular syntax, please comment below the movie, and I will personally respond in another movie. Good luck.